going to be good. Need to make sure the stream deck's on. Make sure we're good to go. Should have some folks. They're probably like, what? Miss BBT hosting.
It's not live yet.
It's live.
I know, but it takes forever to go live.
Not to you. Make sure that was over. All right. We're back. It's been a few days. So we got quite the operation for you tonight. We're going to do things a little differently than normal. So I didn't go and build a crazy rig. We got a big crazy rig to build this weekend. So I didn't get too much on this one, just because I wanted to be able to show you guys kind of it laid out, and we could talk through as we start to add these adapter cards and start working through everything. So tonight's going to be very tactical on what our mission is. So we have the Z270 Asus Prime AR board here, kind of centered. This is kind of like the de facto standard right now, unless you've been getting the mining boards or the H81 Pro BTCs or anything like that. But we're going to leverage this board tonight. If this ends up being successful, we'll do another episode with other boards, and that'll be the whole episode, is seeing if we can get other boards to work with these adapter cards, these expansion PCIe cards.
We're having more problems.
What's going on? Oh, we're having lagging issues?
Yes, hardcore.
Hardcore lagging? Or is it green lagging issues?
I can't see
we're dropping frames like crazy. Still. Let's take this down a notch. I dropped the encoder a little bit down some. We'll see if we can get back on the live stream with that. I'll bring over the I don't see any drop yet. That's all showing green, so we should be live and hot. All right, hopefully that works. Let's try this again. So tonight, let's see, make sure they can see me. We're good? Yeah, I think we're good.
Seems good.
Everybody seems good. Okay. Had to fix a few things there. It actually defaults. I switched the graphics card out in our rigging, our machine, and when you do that on XSplit, it toggles what the actual renderer it's using. You have to, if you're using XSplit, you got to use the CPU, because it's just like the graphics card rendering sucks. It starts dropping frames. It's probably an issue with their software, but it looks like I'm not dropping any frames now, so we should be good. Let's get some folks in here. Way better. Yeah, so it was actually trying to use the graphics card, and I mean, obviously it's a good graphics card in there. I mean, I don't think we have a bad graphics card here, but it's just that software sucks, so it's actually using the CPU now. So back to what I was saying. So this rigging tonight's a little different. This is actually just open. So we're going to be doing a big build this weekend. I'm going to see if I can live stream part of it, because I'm going to be outside having to build it. But that's going to be for the 19 card GPU. We got all the cards in. We got everything we actually need to build it, short of maybe some of the longer USBs. We ordered some, but I'm still going to build the case and see if I can get it to work from a positioning and a standpoint. And then we're going to build it together. That's this weekend, actually, for the build. For the case, we're going to do something crazy for that. So this tonight, though, is about the PC peripherals that you guys have probably seen. There's a lot of people that use them on YouTube. We have not messed with them, mainly because the builds that we do usually are predicated around the board, and then the case is built for that, and we don't usually get into using these expansion cards. And if there's fill out like these, we haven't got them. Like, I ordered some a long time ago. They never came in. I canceled the order, I ordered some more, and then we got them in, and we just haven't done a video. So now we're in that video tonight. We're gonna do a couple of these if we can here. So we got 2 of the same kind, which are the 3 slot expanders. I'll put all of the actual order numbers and stuff that we use to get these. That way you guys know which ones, if this ends up working out well and you wanted to expand your current rig. But we're gonna go with a couple of these 3 gain ones, and then there is somewhere in this vicinity a 4 slot one. I don't know what I did with it. Is it over there? Yeah. I thought it was over there. And then this guy here is a 4 slot one, from a 1 to a 4. And we'll see if we can get this, and it's got 3 different power types on this to be used. So we're going to try at least one of these, and maybe all of them if we can. We can maybe try to get some more graphics cards. We have more than enough graphics cards to do that with. It's just we're going to test out getting the board working with the 7, and then we'll start using these expanders. So let's go ahead and make sure that I got the stream deck now, since I had to restart that. That way I can start switching and toggling screens. That's got focus. Miss BBT's here tonight. She's checking the comments, because normally when I'm doing this, I know you guys are firing questions, and then sometimes there's some downtime when I'm talking through this stuff. So you guys are open, ask questions. Make sure you just tag us at BBT or Miss BBT, because that way she can see that you're sending something, and I'll see if I can get some questions answered. Pretty much everything's open. We can put. Yeah, I need to set this. If BBT Jason's watching, we need to get the auto production to Twitter and stuff whenever we go live. I want to try to get that one done. That way people know that we're on. So what are we up to tonight? 94. It's quite a night. We already got our first thumbs down that crappy video in the beginning.
No, that was like a half hour before somebody did that.
Oh, somebody came in and said no thanks. All right, so how many do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is 13. And this was just a long board that we could find to get these on. If we end up getting this here and we still have risers, we'll put another board to the side and see if we can expand it. But right now we're going to start with just a couple here. I already got a couple plugged in here. I started to do that, and I was like, well, I'll wait and just, get some of these plugged in to this board. This is, again, the Asus Prime Z270AR. This is the actual AR, not just the A. And what we're going to do is get these plugged in right now.
Say what?
If we can get, I just got a text message. And that's going to make noise. A little bit of what is that? Stranger Things music. Getting ready for that for this week or in the next few weeks. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get 7 of these plugged in right away, and then we're gonna get 7 cards out. We're gonna get right to it. Again, I left this open. I didn't build a different rig for this because I wanted you guys to be able to see some of it. I got the video here. Woo. Right there. That is for some power for the first power supply here. We got a secondary power supply right here. We're using a daisy chain to connect those right here. So primary there. Coming over here. This is a 1000 G3, which I have power on the board, and the actual first sets of cards, which would probably be a 4 cards each, 5 cards on that. And then I got a 1200 P2 off to the side here that will power some of the other cards. And if we need to add more, we got a couple 1000 P2s still in a box here, brand new P2s that will, we need to throw in some more power. And then these are the cards that we'll be going through tonight. Here, a couple rows of them. They're RX 570s, 20 of them. So those are power color. I think we have BIOSes for those. We're not going to be doing BIOSes tonight on those. We did a bulk order on those. We can finally start to get AMD cards again. I opened up a couple just to see the PCBs on them, on the types of cards. So we're going to start plugging some cards in too. Again, these are the RX 570 They do have the back plate. These are the red dragons. These guys right here, they're 4 gig cards. Those are the retail package ones. We're going to start plugging these guys in. They got a single 8-pin, and these ones have the actual dip switch in the front, so you can have 2 different BIOSes. Again, we're not going to mod the BIOS tonight. We're just going to plug them in. We're going to be testing this card to make sure we can get it to work and expand these things. So we're going to go ahead and start plugging some cards. Things, yeah, not the most secure thing, but I wanted to leave it open for people could see it more. Because usually I have an indication you can't see anything. I'll go ahead and start plugging in some power here. That should hold that. Usually I like to have something else holding these, but they should be fine just sitting there for this little temporary event that we got going on here. Again, like, this is one of those things that we go and we test to validate work, and then if you were to build a setup or expand your setup, you could just get one of these cards and do it if we can get it to work. Again, we don't use these, guys. I want to make sure I make that clear. We have not built any builds with these expansion cards. This is our first go around with them. So, like in our normal fashion, I like doing it in front of you guys so we can troubleshoot it together. You guys kind of get the benefit of me rolling through it and how I usually try to figure out the problems with it, and then we can come to a conclusion. If you're looking for the direct answer, this isn't the video for that. You're going to we'll probably want to watch a remake of this when we cut it down. All right, so we got 2. Let me go ahead and start getting some more cards open. We're going to be using Simple Mining OS tonight for this because we're going to be going past 8 cards, and I'm just not going to walk through the drama. Is there really tape on this? I'm not going to be walking through the drama of trying to get Windows work with more than 8 cards. And with expansion cards, like if we were to pull the 5 or the 1070s over there and start mixing stuff, we're not going to do that tonight. What are they saying? You
Nothing,
keep laughing. I don't.
Nothing. No, don't worry. Just keep going.
What are you laughing about? Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay, there's a party in her. A party going on here, and I'm not evidently invited, so. What are you? I'm just gonna leave it.
As I spill my drink down my shirt. Whew.
Right. So usually Miss BBT sits in the back. I'm kind of wearing her out about coming up into the front and answering questions. Cause
see what happens when you ask me to come up front?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on here. And usually she's telling me questions from past the lights, and I have to squint because I can't really see with the lights on what's going on. I'm going to cut through. Now, these are going to be the cards that we're going to be using. We're going to use a couple different sets of cards probably, but we're going to try 19 on the same board with that 19 GPU rig. Now, Azu says on there, or at least in their publication and the writing on that 19 GPU board, that you got to split between NVIDIA and AMD. We'll see if that's true. That's why we got enough cards of the same card to try to limit the difficulty on it. Again, we're using 1,000 and a 1,200 right now. Should be more than enough power for 13 cards. Well, technically, it's more than enough power if they're unmodded. So we'll see how bad that are modded with the power savings. We'll see how we got the kilowatt on both of them. So we'll see how that goes. What I'm going to do is get the first 7 plugged in. We're going to turn the board on them and make sure we see all 7, because I want to make sure that I'm taking out any variables. Like, I haven't tested any of this yet, so you guys, if we have one that doesn't work, we'll check riser. We'll have to maybe take some off, but I keep putting down my little thing I was cutting that with. Loose screw in the house. I was using a thing to cut that open. Oh, there it is. And that's one thing you don't want to lose back behind all these wires is a metal screw.
Is your motherboard on and you're plugging these in while
Motherboard is not, well, it's hot, but it's not on. Which means that it's got power rolled to it. And it's fine. These are fine. Not gonna hurt it. No questions yet? I mean, what's the deal here? You guys are sleeping.
They're distracted.
They're distracted. They're looking at you. What? Holla! Holla at you, girl.
They say, more work, less talk.
More work, less talk. I'm looking. I thought I had an extra. Let's see. That's 4. I think I only had 2. Here we go. Oh, I had another one. I think I was setting this one up for 5. Missing 2 more.
BTX?
Hmm?
BTX?
What about BTX?
Does that make sense to you?
No.
Have you heard of it yet?
No. What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Are they talking about a coin that's called BTX? And if it's an ICO, no, I haven't. I get probably, and you probably hear this from all the other YouTubers, we get so many emails now about supporting somebody's new ICO. It's gone ridiculous. All right, let's plug in 5 and just go. Actually, no, I'm gonna go and put 7 in there.
Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
I think it's a fruit.
You're right.
I'm right. Sweet. Maybe the extra question. You got harder ones than that, folks.
BTX is a fork of Bitcoin?
There's a lot of forks of Bitcoin.
For GPU only?
A fork of Bitcoin that's GPU only. Is this SHA 256? Because if so, it won't be GPU only very long. You guys rocking the shirt, man. Look at that. We got, so some
They
people,
talked about the shirt.
yeah, some people have ordered shirts. We're waiting for another shipment of the rest of the shirts. So if you guys have put orders in, they are coming. Hopefully they will show up here real quick. And then we will get them out as soon as we can. I've already shipped a few away, a few shirts to folks that have got it.
Count said he got his 3 shirts and he is very pleased with them.
He ordered 3 shirts. I haven't sent him 3
Oh,
shirts.
did he?
He ordered 3 shirts.
Oh.
I know
Made
his.
it sound like they were there.
I saw his order, and we have one of the 3 here, and the other ones hopefully should be showing up within the next day, and then they're gonna go right out. So, I put on there that they were arriving late September, which is true. Some of them have already arrived, but as soon as they get here, they will go out. Now, there's
Count
only a
said he
few.
already got his shirt.
Who does?
Count? Maybe
Uh,
you didn't send any?
Unless somebody else is pimping our design. What?
Mm. Oh, do you think they were the Amazon ones?
Maybe. Yeah, because we have some that are coming here. Okay. 7. Okay, we got 7. These should be in. Make sure these are set to watt. Watt. Nothing's catching fire. Some stuff turned on.
Difficulty reduction.
Difficulty reductions coming when the Ethereum hard forks. Right now, I think it's tentatively planned for October 9th. And it should drop down pretty significantly. Let's see here. Next split, scene 2. Now this is a fresh build, so I made sure everything was new. So even that the Simple Mining OS is a new, fresh. So it should go out and do all of its updates. Failed. So we're getting some fails here from something. It's doing its ring fail or its ring test. We'll let it get through all of its stuff. We'll see if one riser's not working or something, and then we'll. So this is going to go and do an update. Again, this is a fresh build of Simple Mining OS, so it's going to have to update itself. You guys are seeing that happening right now. This is a great time for them for questions. Am I getting buzzed?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. The chat. Count up to 151. So this is going to update. We're going to try to get the 7 working, and then right from there, well, actually, it looks like it's only going to be 5 because I didn't plug in the other 2 risers. So we're going to let this go ahead and finish updating. We'll let the 5 kick on. We'll make sure the first 5 start. I missed the 2 risers for these 2 cards here. We'll shut it down. We'll plug these 2 in, make sure all 7 come up. Again, these are not modded. We're just making sure they go. And then we're going to get right into doing the adapter boards.
Super chat from Terrence.
Yep.
Any idea why Claymore shows 64 compute units for the Vega 56 with blockchain driver installed?
It's might be misreading it. I haven't seen if they've actually confirmed that if the Vega 56 and the 64 are actually the same chip or not. I think they are. So it might be one of those situations where there's actually 64 compute units. It's just not using them all. I'll have to check with ours. I got another Vega 64. I left the Sapphire. So I left the Sapphire on a desk out, not here. I left the XFX that I was talking about last night. This is just updating. We'll go back to this. So I have an XFX. This is the Sapphire Vega 64. Yeah, we'll pull. I want to pull this one back out, and then we're going to take the BIOS off of this one and put it on the Vega 60 or Vega 56 that we have, and see if this 64 and the 56, the BIOSes work. So they've been saying, I've seen a lot of people posting that you can get some pretty nice gains by taking the BIOS off the 64 and putting it on the 56. So we'll try that. That might actually come out this weekend. I got everything here for that. Again, I want to do that with you guys. It's no fun if I'm just doing that in the background and telling you, oh yeah, we're like a blog and it works. No, I want to do it. You guys seeing how we do it.
Are these 1060s?
No, these are RX 570s.
Sorry, somebody asked something. 1060s.
RX 570s. That's what these are.
How many gigs?
These are 4 gigs. I think they're 4 gigs. I think, yeah, smaller boxes usually are. These are, I don't even remember what we order anymore. 4 gig.
Why does RAM on your graphics card matter?
The RAM on the graphics card matters. If the RAM type matters, it predicates a lot of what the timing can do. It's on the AMD cards especially, and on the 1060 NVIDIA cards. It also predicates on how much mega hash you can get out of the card. Really, it comes down to RAM timing and quality. As you see on the NVIDIA GTX 1060s, Hynix memory versus having the Samsung memory on those is a huge difference. I mean, like we have some of the Hynix memory 1060s, and they only get a max of like 19 mega hash, where the Samsung, same card style, everything, get 23.5, 24. So this thing's still doing updates. To Simple Mining, I did again a fresh download build of it, so it's going through its updates. We're gonna let that get through. I like trying to make sure that you guys see that I'm starting from not a baseline. I'm starting from a very, very basic baseline that you guys would do. So we're taking a fresh copy of Simple Mining. We're letting it go through. That's what we try to do on the live streams. I know it makes for not like really a super exciting stuff, but you get to see the entire process. So as we go through it, so you know that it's not some cool modified version that I made in the background to make these little peripherals work, and then you get it home and you're like table flipping because you're like, this stuff isn't the same stuff. You know, this doesn't work for me. So I try to balance that out. What did he say?
Nothing. When I texted him, he goes, "You're not Mike," and I was like, "Yeah, he's texting during the stream. Like, you can't see me texting on your phone during this whole thing."
Oh, he's not paying attention.
Just made me laugh. So, does more RAM equal better mining?
Not necessarily. The more RAM can predicate if you can mine or not, depending on how much RAM it is. I.e., if you have a 2 gig card, you cannot mine Ethereum. You need at least a 4 gig card. Actually, you need at least a 3 gig card, because the DAG file is just over 2 gig. So you need to have at least 3 gig to mine Ethereum. If you're going to dual mine, it seems the dual mining, so if you're doing like Ethereum with the Sia coin, or Ethereum with Decred, or Ethereum with Library, if you had the 8 gig cards seem to perform a little better, but I've had 4 gig cards that perform almost the same. So I mean, it really comes down to having more than 2 gig to be able to mine. But I mean, I go more. I would, if you're getting in it and you're going to go, you need to go as cheap as possible. It really comes down to what people want. The 8 gigs is usually for resell. So like if you have an option and the pricing is really close to the same, go with the 8 gig card, because then your opportunity to sell would be a lot higher, because people that are wanting to use the card for other purposes, like its primary purpose before mining, being gaming and stuff, you're going to want the 8 gig card. I mean, you just want to have that extra overhead. So it looks like it's done. Let me make sure that I can go in there and register the rig settings here.
What were your thoughts on using that server PSU instead of a regular PSU?
Ooh, 18. I like the server PSU, but it's very specific to. I'll just reset it. So the server PSUs right here, I was using it for a long time. I actually built a couple of different builds. We're probably going to use it with the 19 card build. This one, there's a few different ones you can get, but this one is only the PCIe Express. It's only these. It's 18 of them. 18 8-pins. That's all this is. It's got two 110 connectors here, and it's got 2 separate strands of, what, 3 8 pins. You can get ones that actually have the 24 pin and the SATAs and all that other stuff, but it drops the effective use of the power supply down to about 1600 watts. This is a 2400 watt, so it's good as just like a secondary power supply, just to provide this the power up here while you're using the system, or the like a 1200 watt with it to power all the cards from the riser side, or that one by itself using a few adapters, such as this 8-pin here to 2 8-pins. Okay, now you're probably thinking, what? Why would I split that? And that's crazy talk. Let's see if this thing actually pushes the settings. This little guy here, again, is an 8-pin to 2 8-pins, and what that's good for is taking a power supply like this that has all these connectors. If you're going to use this to actually drive like the risers, not the cards, you won't want to go this into cards, but if you take one of these 8-pins out of this riser, or out of this power supply, and you put it here.
Don't know what currency that is, but thanks, Vishal.
Vishal, like a boss. You got a question with that, buddy? It looks like Ripple, or like a rupee, or what is that? Rupee? Indian rupees? You might not like the setting I have pushed to these. I don't know what the base settings on these are. I'm just going to take off the overclocking completely. 750
INR?
1800, 112 to...
INR?
INR?
That's the money?
I think it's... Rupee?
I don't know.
This thing has a rel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to plug into. Is it rupee?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm such a worldly person. No. So anyways... having a fun time trying to get this rel on there. There we go. So this 8-pin here goes in right here, and then splits it to 2 more 8-pins. Now this would be good for the risers, going straight into, because this goes into 6 pins, these little splitters. So you could do an 8-pin to 2 6-pins, but you could plug these expanders into the risers, which gives you, like this would now do, instead of 3, it would do 6 just on this one strand, which really expands a power supply like this, because you're not going to have that big of a load off the riser. The power that's powering the risers isn't going to be pulling that much of a load on a big power supply like this on those rails, where each one of those rails are really designed to take like 300 watts of power, 3.25 watts of power on that single rail. So you could absolutely split that to six without an issue, and we've done that on a few different builds with that power supply just to test it out. That one power supply was powering 12 cards, and we were right at the top of it, a little over 2,000 watts, but it was handling it, and it wasn't like catching fire, which was pretty surprising to me, to be honest with you. But I'm going to fix this because it keeps rebooting. I think it doesn't like the settings I'm pushing to it, the base settings, because it was inheriting a different rig. Let's get rid of all this. Let's leave this all at stock, save, push. So it looked like it was trying to downclock these, and these are the stock BIOS, so I just wanted to run, and we'll let it.
Vishal asked, which OS is better for a beginner, EthOS or Simple OS, or in a different one?
The simplest is simple mining. I mean, well, the simplest is if you already have a computer and has Windows, you just download the miner and you run it. There we go. Okay, so that's the 5. It's working now because I'm not forcing it to some crazy setting, and it just rebooted because I forced it to do a reboot after that thing. So anyways, I'm going to turn this off right now because I want to plug in the other. Now that I see that it saw the 5, we're going to shut this off. I'm backwards here. So we're going to power this off because I want to grab these 2 risers and plug them in now that we saw the 5.
Are there any OSs or systems that will send a message to your phone if your miners go down?
Yes. You would do it. It wouldn't be for your mine. So if you're using like Nano Pool, I think there's a few pools that actually show you if your workers go offline, and you'll see it from the pool side. So like if you're using Simple Mining OS or you're just using Windows and you're using a miner, you can set memory okay. Thanks, bro. Just reboot that. If you set the worker to send you an email if it goes offline, that's one way you can tell. This weekend I was planning also to do a live stream, guys, with you guys with regards to walking you guys through the multi-miner and the configuration, the setup, how to modify it, all that kind of stuff. I am working on version 5.6. With that, I'm trying to take out the actual wallet information and all that kind of stuff and move that to a config file. So within any other updates we do with the multi-miner, it'll just read the one that you have. So all you'll do is you'll just update your multi-miner, and you don't have to keep changing all your addresses and all your custom settings. I'm going to try to keep all your custom settings in a separate config file from now on, and that way you guys can just launch just the software change of the multi-miner and not have to mess with all your configs. That was one of the biggest requests that we kept getting, is whenever I submit that, you guys have to go back in there and change all your stuff, and that sucks. So we're trying to get that fixed. Hopefully that'll be a good fix for you guys. Of course, we'll sweep through the miners, and I believe we're also trying to get the TSIV CPU miner updated with a few custom configs based on the CPUs that you choose. There we go, 7 cards. We see everything. Let's make sure this thing actually mines. Again, these are all bone stock. I haven't done anything to these. We took them out of the package. You saw it. And they're crap out of the box usually. We got a couple that are 15. I'd take the speeds of this with a grain of salt. Right now, these are not modded. They act stupidly when they're not adjusted and modded in Simple Mining OS. So the big thing right now is to see if we can get the cards working, and then we'll work with trying to get them dialed in with at least an acceptable setting for today. Those first two will eventually fix themselves, or they should fix themselves. And this is what 7 cards, if you don't modify them at all, the RX 570s will do. These cards right here, right now we're doing Ubik, should be doing about 28.5, 27, somewhere around there, mega hash each. So this 7 cards should be like a 190 mega hash rig after it's all said and done.
Wasn't someone working on the multi-miner for Linux?
Yes, I had one guy working on it, Anno. I haven't talked to him in a while. We do need to do a big update on that. That's kind of like 4th on the priority list though for it. I didn't see a lot of downloads on the Linux side of it, because if people are using Linux, they're usually using Simple Mining. But okay, so we got 7 cards. Success. So let's make things interesting. So let's go ahead and power this off. It looks like it's at least stable enough. It's not rebooting. It's accepting shares. Let's power. Wrong button. Shut this off. And we're going to now add an expansion card.
Time travel algorithm for CC miner on the multi-miner?
Is that a question?
I asked the same thing. I said, is that a thing? Jesse asked, can you ask him to add the time travel algorithm for CC miner?
Yes, we can. Let's write it down though. You make a note on here. Just note. Like sticky note. Sticky! Pick a sticker! Alright. Come on, Linux. Showdown! Did not even see how much power this was using. We're gonna just bury you off. All right, so let's go back to here. We're gonna go with the 3 version first. Oh, I lost the focus on. On Stream Deck. I really need to switch to OBS Studio because XSplit is just not doing it for me on feature set. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take, and I am testing this theory out, but I'm gonna choose the main port first, and then we'll work our way around.
Oh, no, it's not. Nothing.
Slide there. Sliding this up so I can get this. And we're going to use the first 16x slot. And then we're going to move this boy up here. We're going to power. So this thing comes with, I'm going to use this little guy here. Here's a close-up of this. So you can see it's got a 4-pin. Here, let's do it this way. Here you guys go. So here is a close-up of this thing. So you got SATA power, and then it's got the 4-pin Molex, and from my understanding, you only use one of them. You don't need them both. If it doesn't work, we'll try them both, but I think you only need one. They give you both. Looking at the memory or the power controller, it looks like, yeah. So the power controller, you see it here, and the 4 pins here, and you can see both of them are truncating out over here. So that's supplying, so either one should work there, but we'll try the SATA one, and then we'll do one card at a time. So we're going to slide this guy over here, and we're going to use the one card here, and you put the little dongle thing out this way. This is where the USB is. It goes that way. You can dork it up and put the wrong stuff in. We're getting crazy. We're gonna try 3 right away, and then we'll work our way backwards. So those 3, and then I want, for right now, I'm gonna take this power. I want to have my own separate power for this thing. We'll bring the thermal gun out. We'll take a look at it too to see if it heats up, if it runs. Ooh, that lights up.
Jed's saying you only need the SATA connections?
Yeah, I'm only gonna use the SATA connection. It lit up because that power supply was rolling, because I had that one off and that was passing through and keeping that one on. So we're going to keep that on, those 3, and then we're going to use USB.
What would happen if you installed a PCIe X1 backwards?
It actually smokes out. I've done it before. I did it before on a rig that I was building, that we were doing we were doing things with the cards vertically hanging up, and then we had the board set up in such, I think it was like upside down. It was a really weird setup, but bottom line, we rolled things down and had the cards hanging a different way, and I was twisted and I just put it in backwards, and we turned it on and it started to smoke. So we turned everything off real quick, and then lo and behold, I flipped it around, and it actually just smoked right on the bottom part of the card, just like right down here. And the board was fine. We were able to plug something back in it, but it nuked the riser. So that's what I say when bad things happen. So we got one of the SATAs plugged in. I'm gonna have to add another card right now. I'm gonna add 2 more cards here. This one already out of the package. That's weird. We're taking that one out. It was down in the. Let me put this to come up. Now this puts us to 8.
What?
What? Then we have 270.
Yeah.
170. Welcome to the new folks joining the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. We should have an episode, believe it or not, an episode tomorrow night out. I had gone through a script, and it's a detailed walkthrough, kind of a quick, like 10, 12-minute episode on the mining cards. Just kind of like a post 3-week review of them. I did a 3 pages of script to talk through, and walk you guys through all the results of that. And it's going to be, I'm going to be kind of asking if the community wants me to start getting back into doing those, versus just doing the live streams, because right now we've just done live streams. And Z Thunderdragon on that. BYZ is live for miners and rewards. What's is that an ad? Reduce.
I don't know.
BYZ with a super chat coming in, dropping some ad. That's the new modern way to do ads, folks. People can come in here and drop ads on the super chats. BYZ. I don't know what that is. Is that the Bitcoin fork? Alright, so we got that one, this one added, and then the one that we used the slot for. So all we've really added is 2 on this 3-card board, or the 3-slot board, because obviously you need the 1 slot to use it. So this should bump us up. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's fire this guy back up. Got light on the card.
Byzantium?
Byzantium. I've heard of Byzantium. ETH fork. Yep. I've heard of Byzantium. I didn't know the acronym.
They said it's an Ethereum fork. BTG is the new Bitcoin fork.
BTG. So many acronyms. Somebody's done the math on how many 3-letter acronyms. This should be a common issue because a lot of MMOs only allow their clan names to have, their clan or corporations or whatever only have 3 characters. So there is a math problem of how many alphanumerics you can possibly have in 3. Somebody that's a really, really ultra nerd can give us the total number of that. I know one of you guys are CS majors and have that in the top of your head. No raffles tonight. Yeah, if we get a big expansion back, guys, we've really dropped off the map right now on, I mean, some of the content's been a little sparse. I've been really super busy outside of BBT, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, because it's helping move blockchain forward, but unfortunately, because I haven't been able to participate. Let's see if we get 9. We got less. 6. No fret. So I'm going to take an assumption that it's the 6 that are not plugged into this thing. But we're going to let it come up. We're going to test it, and then we're going to play around with what slot it's in. So that's the first swing and a miss. Where is my thermal gun? Let's see. Yep. They're spinning, but it's not. Yeah, it's definitely, that one's down and these two. So confirmed. I don't think they can see that. No, they can't see that. Maybe.
It says you need to connect only 2 cards.
We're gonna try them all. We'll try it.
Someone said they had that same expander and it didn't work.
Well, we're gonna keep trying, boys. We're gonna keep trying. We don't fail on the first one. Or we fell on the first one, but no, try again, right? So let's shut this thing down. We know which ones it is.
They say 2 of the 3 works, but if you add more than... So there's coins with more than 3 letters, but they still shorten them for the... Like stocks, they all get shortened down, right? Like music coin isn't music, right?
It's MUS.
And then he said smart coins, that's condensed too, isn't it? They were back at your acronyms.
Oh, yeah. I'm just moving it over one slot to that first PCIe, just to see. And then I'll pull one off of this, and then I'm gonna go to the 4 one. While we're waiting on that, I'm gonna open up another card to be ready for that 4th card, that 4th slot. And what we're gonna do is, if we can get 2 to work on this, it's just giving us 1 extra card at the end of the day. We'll use all of them, and we'll see.
Liam says thanks for the help yesterday.
No problem, Liam. If you guys haven't dropped by, you can drop by our Discord chat and channel on... If you go to bitsbetrippin.com, it's a new site. It's still a work in progress, but it's a new site. Some people saying it's better than our old one. I agree. On there is the link to the Discord. That gets you in there. It's just like the modern chat. It's what you guys can go into and chat. We have a pretty good community. Okay, we have 6 there again. So we're just going to shut that right back down.
Your Molex connector is open?
Who?
Your Molex connector is open? Is that a thing? Or are they not talking to you?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's getting power. This thing's definitely getting power. And I doubt this thing has anything to do with needing both power. It should only have to work on 1 power. Now the iterative approach would be to... Everything's about a perturbation, so each different way of doing it should be done before you deduct. So we're going to try that off. And we're going to try it with the, where is it? Just saw it. I'm going to plug this guy in and go with the 4-pin Molex and see. I'd be amiss not to try that. Now this thing should have been getting enough power and everything's fine. But I like trying all the different variables. It still should light it up. It shouldn't matter at all, but we're going to try it real quick. And then I'm going to plug both in. We'll try it. If it doesn't, then we'll move on. We'll pull 1 card. We'll slip another card in here. Need that. Just keep it to the side.
The two power supplies out here are.
That one is a EVGA 1000 G3, and then that's that little one here, and then that one is a 1200 P2 EVGA Supernova. This is one of them. Just that, and then the other one. I think it's here. These are the two power supplies. Keep those handy, just in case.
You know when Metropolis is going to go live?
Word on the street is around October 9th. I did plug it in already, like doing the math. This thing does take a minute. Cool minute. And that's what we're looking for, guys, is seeing if it sees 6 or it's it. Okay. So we'll stop wasting time there, and we'll just shut this down. I'm not going to plug both in. That makes no sense at all, if that's even a thing. So we'll shut this down and off. And we're going to go with, I'm going to swap these around. I'm liking a big one. And let's take one out. See if 2 work, which is, it would only be expanding it by 1.
Where?
A little lag. A little jumping around. I'm warping.
They say October 17th.
They're talking, it might have moved. Last I seen was October 9th, but yeah, if they're talking the 17th, that might be a thing. I haven't looked at the latest event. Let's see if we can get.
Yeah, it didn't lag on your Superman post. Right, they're saying Metropolis is October 17th. Approximately.
Yeah, I mean, right now the mining is all should be switching at a kind of high number. We're only still at 6 again, guys. So this card is not liking it.
They're saying they thought the expanders only worked on the long PCIe port, not the shorty.
It's in the long one. It's in the primary long one. And it's plugged into P1 and P2. I will try it in P3 and P2. And if that one doesn't work, we have a backup one just in case.
Then they say people find that they tend to work better in the 16x slots.
It's in the 16x. It's in the primary 16x slot
But they
right now.
should work in the 1x as well.
They should work in it wherever. I mean, from a mechanical standpoint, it shouldn't matter. Because it's a 1x expander over to another daughter board that's bridging 1x.
How much RAM do you have on your motherboard?
8. 8 gigs shouldn't matter. Not running Windows. It's running Linux, which is using about 700 megs of memory.
What should they expect from the Metropolis updates? Fork, whatever it's called.
So there is a GitHub post with what's all going to be in there. They're going to add some new feature sets. The big one that we really care about from a mining standpoint is the fact that they're dropping the network difficulty back predicated on, and that is not working either. So shut this down.
Should these fans, these guys aren't plugged in, right?
That one's not on the end.
These two?
That one is
This
not
one
plugged in.
wasn't spinning.
Yeah, this one was not spent. Yeah, because this one got unplugged
Okay.
because it was the other one that was plugged there.
Did you use both power connectors on the extender card?
No, we can try that. I don't think it matters, but we'll try it anyways. I'm gonna plug the other one in. We're gonna give it more power. It should not matter.
Oh, they said the CMOS screen literally just said 16 gigabytes of virtual RAM is required for the multi-GPU systems. Did I miss something?
It doesn't matter. We're running 13 GPUs with 4 gigs of memory, guys, on the H110 Pro BTC with Celeron processors. We have several rigs built with 13 GPUs with 4 gigs of memory. Does not matter. Now, it might matter on this. I doubt it, because it makes no sense, because it's not doing anything. There's no process paging memory for this card to work. It's not putting this controller into memory through virtualization or anything. It is literally a hardware extension with some interrupts. So it's either Linux is just completely ignoring it and they don't work very well with Linux and it really needs to be used with Windows. That could be a thing. But right now it's completely ignoring it, which is making me think that either Linux just isn't liking these, and that could be an actual thing. We're gonna try one. We're gonna try the other one here, and see if it works. If it does not, what we could do is I can plug a Windows drive in this. We could drop this to 8 of these, and then I can plug in NVIDIA cards for the rest of them, and we could technically take it to 13 cards in Windows. So let's try that. Let's unplug this real quick. This is the 3 gain one that we're gonna get rid of. We're gonna try the 4 just to see. Technically, I have another one of these too, but I'm going to throw this one off to the side. We're going to plug this guy in. This is the 4. That is so weird. It's a huge overhang. That one's made to mount right onto the case. And we're going to use a 6-pin for this to power it.
What CPU are you using?
This is an i3 7100.
They say that Joss V on Discord uses a 4-to-1 splitter a lot. Or he's got it to work successfully.
With Simple Mining?
I'm not sure.
Probably with Windows. Because I'm betting this thing is wanting to set it up as a separate controller to assign the inputs and outputs.
That's what John said. He uses Windows. He uses one just like that, but it's through Windows.
Yeah. So if this doesn't work this round, then that one doesn't have a light on it.
They're spinning.
Yeah, they're spinning. So we're trying the 4 gain one right now. If this doesn't work, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull Windows drive real quick. And what we'll do is we'll drop to 8 cards for the RX, and then I'll pull some of the 1070s into the mix, and we'll take the 13 with Windows. And what that comes down to is I'm betting if it does work in Windows, it's because it's setting this device up as another controller and assigning it the correct interrupts that it needs to actually perform. And Linux by and large is just ignoring it.
They're asking, do you have a regular riser plugged into the main slot as well, or just the 3X?
Do I have a regular riser? No, it's the 3X riser has its own expansion, and then that plugs in to that, and then I'm using 3 separate risers plugged into that. Yeah. This is acting a little more strange.
Jed said he uses several of the 4-way splitters with Linux.
Well, it's acting the way right now a ASRock H110 boots, where it's staying dark for a while as it's going through and doing its scans. I'm at 700. It's definitely pinging cards because I'm at I'm at 800 watts here. I'm at 600 watts here. Five, 4. No signal. Dead. Power down. Reboot. Alright, so let's let it reboot one more time. So it's acting a lot of like the way the H110 Pro would work, where I'm not seeing. It's not giving me a video out now. But it's definitely jostling the cards, because right now we're at 148 on the power usage, you guys can see. I'll leave it on this screen for a second. You can see when you see that power spike up, definitely talking to the cards. Just give it a second.
Where can they find a copy of the Linux multi-miner?
It's in our Discord. You should be able to see it. See what I'm talking about here? 800, 700, 300. Okay. So it's definitely doing something. It's just we're not seeing a display come through. $800 again.
Yeah, they're saying the kilowatts jumping so much. It's kind of weird.
Well, no, so that's that. If you watch the kilowatt when the cards usually start up, like when they actually start mine, or they go to start their first cycle of mining, the kilowatt will do that, and then as it scrolls and it pages to engage the first report of the mining, you'll see it kind of bounce like that. Yeah, these are all hot. It's actually, I think, not mining accurately, but it's mining. Let me look at simple mining and see what it says. Yeah, so I got 10 cards seen on simple mining. I showed 10 cards, but a couple of them were not acting right. A couple of them were only at 4. So let's shut this down.
Switch the feed.
Yeah. So we saw 10 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I saw all 10 cards with this. I'm wondering if I'm feeding it enough power, or if it just is acting weird because of the. This is the 4 pin. I'm going to shut this down.
Oh my gosh, for reals?
What's up for reals?
Hugh Hefner just died.
Hugh Hefner died?
They can't be serious. That man's gonna live forever.
He lived a good life. Alright, we're plugging those two in. Let's give it a whirl. Is it on Hugh Hefner death Twitter? 34 seconds ago. Well, you went to Hugh Hefner's thing. So.
What? He's not dead. That was last year.
We got display this round. It's also post-satire.
Yeah, on September 27th, the businessman's representatives officially confirmed that Hugh Hefner is not dead. They've been victimized by the hoax. He's not dead.
Ten. The 4 gain works. So the only thing I did differently, and the reason what made me think about it, was sometimes on those 6 pins on these
Hold
cards.
on, it's lagging.
Huh?
Hold that thought.
Oh God.
Okay, go.
Oh God, it's lagging. So I have both the SATA and the 4 pin plugged in. It'd probably work with either one, but right now, that's all of them working. Well, no, looks like GPU 3 is not working. Let's see which one GPU 3 is. But that could be just these cards. Stock cards I do not like to think of anything until after I'm on them. I don't look for stability on stock cards. Stock cards kind of suck. Alright, so this one is hot, definitely. That one's good. That one's good. Good. This one's cooler. just rebooted this thing. I think I moved it. Might have been leaning too much.
Don't touch it.
I think it was leaning too much. I think it actually wasn't getting a good reboot. That probably rebooted because of me messing with these.
They said 1 and 3 are down.
So we are getting all 10, but we're getting inconsistencies.
Do you have one of the splitters that goes directly into the PCI slot?
Huh?
He said, what splitters does he have? I see the powered one, and does he have one that goes directly in the PCI slot? Is that the M.2s?
The M.2, I have M.2 ones also. So this is the one that's plugged in right now. This big guy right here. This.
What key do you press to refresh more mining information?
S.
S.
I'm gonna plug this guy back in. So bottom line, it did come up. It was a little unstable, but it could be unstable because these cards. I mean, a couple of these cards we only had a couple of them plugged in. We're only getting 15. These are right out of the box, so these really need, really need BIOS mods. But I'm gonna try it one more time, plugged in, and then we're gonna. I want to try this this other extra card, PCIe expander 3-card. One that we have, but the 4-card so far is not a bust. In Linux, it's working.
Can you use the little camera and show which expander you're using right now?
Yeah. The field of view on this thing kind of sucks, so. It's the 4-slot. Here, let's do it this way. It's the 4-slot expander, and I have both the power, Molex, and the SATA plugged into it. I don't know if that matters yet. We'll unplug it, but there's the 4. There's 10. Still GPU 3. And GPU 2's kind of weird. GPU 1 just dropped. So it starts off, but it falls off. I mean, so from a stability standpoint, I don't know if it's the cards, the slots, or the... I'd have to play process of elimination here on checking out different slots or different risers, because it's this card right here. It's not getting warm, and this is one of the newer ones. I just added that's definitely in this piece here. We're going to shut this down. We're going to plug this into a different the 1X slot and see if it still works in that. So far, the 4X is working. We got 10 cards up right now. I really wish this other one worked. We might put the 2 M.2 slots in this too. That'll really piss off some stuff, probably.
Making funny noises.
Well, it's making a little crackling and popping because there's a lot of heat going on over here. It's getting hot here.
They said, would you try putting an expander on an expander?
I would if I can get this other 3-1 working, I will. Would I normally do it? No.
Do you have a U-bit style USB 4-to-1 expander, or just the one that?
No, it's just that. I don't know what the U-bit one is.
I think they said it was on Amazon. That one.
Yeah, it's not a U-bit. It's not that one. Power play. You know, a lot of weird messages.
Yeah, like, if BBT can do it, anyone can do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, so if we can get the expander to work off an expander, that's great and all, but I don't know if I would recommend it. This really needs a stable set of cards to invalidate, you know, to make sure that this is a good test.
The U-bit, well, you saw the picture, has USB ports on it, not PCIe.
Mm. Hmm. So interesting enough, well, that lasted for a whole 2 seconds. The first execution of that actually in the 1x slot got a better result initially. It's a little everywhere, but as you go, let me bring this up. Well, we're getting memory errors. But if you guys look at the very top one, you could see 208 mega hash because it was actually performing a little differently in that first slot versus the 16x slot. Now we're getting some PCI airbus severities. We're down to 90. Looks like it's stepping the. Looks like we're running into like a different type of issue. It looks like it shut down some of those cards. Stop. Oh yeah. And it rebooted. All right, so we're going to shut this off. So it's weird. We got a really interesting result right away. I'm gonna unplug one of the power real quick because we got 2 powers running into it. I'm gonna boot it back up again. I'm gonna leave it in that 1x slot, and I'm gonna put it back into another 16x slot. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it and see if we can get these things just basic stable with this one card, and then we'll use that extra one. Oh, CNBC, Hugh Hefner did die.
What?
Yeah, that guy lived a good life, man. Or at least he gave the illusion that he lived a good life. Nice little bump in Bitcoin today. Got a nice little trend line.
Tomorrow there will be a run at Goodwill for the velvet smoking jackets and pajamas and a glass of bourbon, right?
It should be. And how many people are going to be Hugh Hefner now for Halloween? Oh. How many adults, rather?
Too soon.
Too soon, yeah.
Who's going to keep the bunnies warm at night?
Seeing 10. Right away. Right away. Lots of errors, non-fatal. getting some interesting issues here. So I'd say I'd label this right now. I don't know if it's the card. I doubt it's the cards. Just yeah. I mean, right now, I mean, I know some people are using these. I don't know the success rate on them, but it's a little suspect. I'm plugging in all the power, guys. Let's see what happens here. This could catch fire.
Giving it all she's got. Did you hear me?
Yeah. I like when you're a dork.
Wow. That's such a great compliment. You just called me a dork. That's rough.
Nothing so far. It does not like that, oh, there it goes. I was going to say, it does not like that 6 pin in there, I don't think. I don't think this matters, guys. I'm just trying it.
What did you change?
I have all the power
the
plugged in. It should be one or the other. Because it did boot up fine with one of them plugged in. Let me see the 10. Nope, we're getting dumps right away. 164, 186. Dumping. Not working. I'm going to try this last card real quick and make sure either works or not. We'll use its riser or its USB just in case if the one that I was using is for whatever reason shouldn't matter, but this one says version 05. What's this one? This was 03. That's right. Okay, same one.
You're mumbling.
Yeah, no, I saw the version number on this little card here says 05. This part right here says 03. So just curious. Take that over up this here. This is the 3 one.
What's the max number of cards you can run on Windows?
16. 8 and 8.
They have to be 2 different kinds.
Yes. Right now. Alright, we're going to try this one. And go. It's lit up. That's the second card that we had. The other... This is the one that was working. Well, relatively working. It acknowledged the fact that there was cards. This almost needs its own test in Windows. We'll be doing that in a different time because it's getting late now on this. So that card we know is good. If this item actually works, I'll pull this one back into the mix and see if we can double them up. But
what's the max number of AMD GPUs on Linux?
We're going to test 19.
This weekend?
Yes. Well, I mean...
Not here.
Yeah, we're not here. We're not going to do that part here. I got to build the rig this weekend. We'll probably do it sometime next week, live for everybody else. Using this board, which you guys have seen and know. I don't know why I got this little thing here. Using that guy. 19 slots. And you guys can see it says you have to use all three of the 24s. Bank A. Oh, where am I at? I'm all balled up here. Bank B and Bank C. And then these little... These slots here say what bank they're part of. So that's why they have the white labeling around them. Is that it's got to get its power to do that. So hit that.
The number of NVIDIA cards that you can run on simple mining.
This thing's paused for a second. Oh, just rebooted. Number of cards, what?
NVIDIA's on simple mining.
We've ran 13. If you guys look up our video, 13 1080 Ti's. We did a 13 card 1080 Ti build. It was about almost 450, 470 mega hash, something like that. And we had 13 NVIDIA 1080 Ti's in simple mining. What's our time at?
Hour and a half.
Okay.
We started at 9, right?
Now we'll wrap it up here soon. I mean, we confirmed that the 4 card one works. I mean, it's just this was a kind of a broad test, but I'd want to do more with that 4 card one now that I know that it works. Like now that I know that it posts cards, I'll make a rig around it. Like we'll use a rig with the Asus Z270 because we got a couple of extras of those, and then I can make like a 13 card board with that. It is not, so it might be trying to make this one work because it's pausing right here. And if it reboots, which it just did, okay, so I'm going to shut this down and I'm going to switch it to the 16X slot because right now this is in the 1X, or the 1X. I'm going to plug this into the 16X. It looks like it's trying to post. It's trying to register those cards.
On that 19 card motherboard, if you only ran GPUs in section A, could you run the motherboard on just one PSU?
That's going to be a great test. We have it down that we're going to do it that way. So we're going to do it section by section. The build this weekend is going to build the framework that I'm going to have 19 cards sitting in. We're going to do a wall design with it. There's been a few people on YouTube that have created essentially cards against a flat surface, not flat surface, but just kind of anchored, and then the board and everything on the backside. We'll do that. Yeah. That's an interesting view I had going on right there. I had the block out.
Yeah, I can't follow chat anymore.
Refresh this page. I don't think that 154 is correct.
What?
152. It's coming back up. We're seeing, I'm trying this one more time right here, and then we'll kind of wrap it up, guys. So we had success with the 4. Here's the reboot with the crash the miner right away. So that's just crushing the miner. Let's pull one card.
What was that?
It's pissed that I pulled it when it was on.
He's trying to blow it up on me.
So we're just going one card less on this. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to try these three slot ones with windows, and I'll leave this rigging the way it is, and I'll do some extra testing after the live stream with windows or into tomorrow, and I'll post some results on Twitter, and we'll put it out there on our blog on our page on our bitsbetrippin.com of the results with Windows on it. And if we actually get it functioning with Windows, then on one of the next live streams we'll go through it, and I'll show exactly what we needed to do to get it to work. But it does look like out of the gate that the 4 gain one is working. So this one is definitely functioning with Linux. You guys can see why that's booting up. We'll go to this. Here's the back. And there's the front. You guys can see the different settings of it. I mean, everything's all backwards. Doing that. Hey, we got 8 cards found. Is that right? That's right. 7, 8. So we got 2 to work with this other one. Okay. All right. We'll try that. Well, that means let's put more cards on this mix. Let's max this board out. We'll see if we can get them all to work. See if we can get 2 of them work real quick.
You're gonna try to blow me up. It's too close.
Yeah, it's fine.
In your experience, what is the most profitable currency to mine with 6 RX 580.
I mean, that's a super predicated question on timing and date and times, and I mean, I'd say use what's a mine if you're looking for the most profitable. The only problem is it's going to move a lot. It's more of what do you want to try to get over a period of time. What do you want to try to hold? I mean, there was a long time we mined nothing but Litecoin when it was not worth anything. We mined a lot of Feathercoin, which I thought would be worth something at some point, and it wasn't.
You seen Zcash? They say it's doing crazy things.
Price-wise, or just in general?
They say it's like 400.
Zcash went to 400 today?
That's what they're saying.
That's probably the top thing to mine right now. Somebody's pumping it up good. Once the change on Ethereum happens, didn't I just take out 2 of these? Yeah, I did. Once the change on Ethereum happens with their difficulty, Ethereum will flash right back to the top to be the best to mine. Right now, it's just not worth it. I mean, I feel sorry for all the people that were on ETH pool and they've been fighting for credits to get a full block, and it just keeps moving on them. That's beyond the moving target issue.
They're saying Zcash was listed on a Korean exchange today.
Well, that'll get it. I mean, that's part of the reason for mining something like Ubik, is it has a good roadmap, and it's relatively cheap, and you can a common miner can actually acquire full units of it, and if and when that takes a jump, then it was worth it. If it never takes a jump, and it's like like what we used to mine Feathercoin, if you look at a lot of our older videos, we mined a lot of Feathercoin, and it never really took off. It stayed in the 9-10 cents area. Mind you, there was a lot of people that would mine Feathercoin. This isn't all the way in. There we go, it is now.
A good wallet for Ubik.
Pyrus, which is a Chrome browser plugin, and what I've always recommended to people is unless you're going to be doing a lot of trading with it, like mining it and then selling it, you make your first wallet, you make it an offline wallet, which all that means is we're going to have one too many here. We're going to take this one out, plug it here. We're plugging both adapter cards in. Of course, I'm pulling the furthest one and the longest one. This was not the ideal setup here, folks. This is a twisted mess. I'm trying to do it quick. And then we're going to give it some power. Right here, I don't think it mattered having both, but that looks like skunk works up in here.
He says that his Ether wallet has an Ubik node now.
Nice. Yeah, so like when we're mining to Ubik, we mine offline. So we made a wallet, and you take that private key, you store it, you save it, and you get the public address, and you just ship all your coins to that public address. It's not online. Ooh, it does not like that. Well, maybe it's going. Just gave us a weird thing. So we got both riser expansions. This is a damn. Look at this funny thing. Look at this wire. This is a disaster. So we got.
That's what they're talking about.
That and then the other. Now this is totally not. Well, it's kind of not characteristic of what we would do, but we got the 3 and then we got the 4, and a damn disaster.
You said we're having spaghetti for dinner tonight.
Yeah, for sure. This AR board doesn't know what's going on. Doesn't know where to begin. Here's a moment of truth. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All we did was expand it by 1 because the 4 and then we added the other one, so we got to 11, 12, 13. So yeah, we could go to technically 13 with this setup if we had the M.2 drive slots used. Simple Mining's trying to figure its life out right now. And it is just doing nothing. I'm letting it set. You gotta be patient with this stuff, guys.
Do you have an M2 in there somewhere?
I have M2s.
It says M2 only supports SATA.
M2 only supports SATA. No. I don't have the M2s plugged in right now.
Gotcha.
Alright. I gave it enough. Let's try it one more time, let it reboot, and then I'll pull one card and see. But we might have capped it out.
Just a couple minutes ago, they said Zcash was at 406, and now it's at 410.
Well, now you get to watch that ride. What's ETH at? We'll switch back to that.
Approximate cost of this?
So 1200 P2 is about 280, 300 bucks. The G3 is about 150 maybe, 180. Z270AR is 159. Risers, 10 of them. It's about, these days, about 60, 70 bucks, if that. These little expansion cards are a little expensive. They're like 25 to 30 a piece. Some of them you can get for like 20, 19, 20 bucks. So that's 50 right there for those two. And then cards about 309 if you can find them for that. About 300 bucks, 309. Times 10 would be $3,000 worth of cards right here. So this is about $4,000. Maybe a little less. Miner crashed.
Move the little camera.
Nice.
You got a little captain in you.
Yeah. So we're just rolling airs. What I'm gonna try right now, guys, is I'm gonna put the mini one on a full 16x slot. The next one over, because I had the mini in a mini. So let's try it with two 16x slots.
What do you think the guesstimated ROI on this would be?
On current rates, probably 9 months.
Ooh. They guess 2.
2 months? No. Probably 9 realistically. I mean, $4,000. $4,000 takes a little bit to make right now.
You have one cable unplugged. Yeah. There's no card in this though.
There's
oh no, this guy's not plugged in.
Well, yeah, but this has got no power. This isn't
Okay.
running right now. There's two not running. This one and this one.
Okay.
I got it plugged in. I was just it's not hot, and I'm not getting anything right now on this. I'll shut this back down. Does not like that other slot. Yeah, I think this is a bust. I thought we could get away with having both, but it's not wanting to play ball. I mean, it's posting, it's making it all the way. It's just not liking something. Okay, we're in a kind of a Linux safe mode now. Equivalent. Let's set that. Nope, immediately crashed. It is not liking the 2, folks. I'm going to pull one of the cards on this riser, see if we can get back to 10. Just kind of a moot point, but I just want to see if it's... No, we'll wrap this up. You guys got any more questions? We'll try to go through it. I have in the description that we do the M2s. We're not going to do the M2s tonight. We know the M2s work with this board. We don't know if the M2s work with these cards with this board, but that's a different problem for a different time. We caught all the super chats, right?
Yep.
Again, we're going to have a video out with the P10690 mining cards. That's going to be actually a produced video. It's the first one in a long time we made. We'll have that out. And then do not forget to go out to bitsbetrippin.com. Check out the Discord. It's one of the largest communities out there in the space, especially when it comes to mining. You know, don't be a dick. You'll just get banned by Blueberry. But, you know, contribute if you can. Help each other out. I try to drop in there as much as I can. Answer questions for people. Nope, this thing's just not working. Alright. Shut that down. Go back to this. Next phase on this one's going to be modding cards, getting them ready to go into the 19 card GPU rig. That's the B250 Asus Mining Expert motherboard. These cards are going to be destined for that, but we're going to go through and do some mods to these and get them set up for the stability, make sure that they're stable with that mod, and then we'll post that mod out to everybody. But we're going to be looking for about a 28, hopefully 29 if we can get out of these. That'd be the target kind of for these mega hash card once they're modded, and then really be setting up that rig. So that the build right now is looking like it's going to be the pair of. It's going to be the 1200 P2 as the primary power supply, and then we're going to give the other 2 slots are going to be 1000 P2s. So we're going to have 2 of these on top of the 1200. That's 3200 watts of power, more than enough. It'll be way under that, but we're going to make sure that it has the right clean platinum power. That everything's going to be set up to really take care of this thing for 19 cards. So this is 10 of them. All right, 10, 11 cards that are going to be in there. And then if for some reason we can only do what the board says it supports. It says it supports 11 AMD GPUs and 8 NVIDIA GPUs. So we're going to try it with 19. We're going to stair step it up. Until it either pukes and doesn't work, and we have that backup plan of having the 8 1070s that we'll throw in there with it. So it'll be 8 1070s and 11 RX 570s. So it should be a pretty sick build. 19 cards around that 30 mega hash to kind of give you an idea of how powerful that's going to be. We got a super chat right there at the end. Like a boss. Richard Porter bringing the heat in. 50 spot. I hear you, buddy. And Canadian dollars.
Michael has a 1070 rig. What do we mine after next week with the next ETH update?
You mine ETH. You're probably going to be mining ETH after. I'm going to... What to mine and all that based on the pricing. I mean, unless... Zcash keeps going crazy. 1070 rig right now on what to mine should be probably ETH, Zcash. I'm assuming with the pricing that it is, but ETH is going to be still in that spot once they get that block time back down to 15 seconds.
Michael asked, "What miner do you use to mine Zcash?"
Let's see here. EBWF is probably the better one out there. Right now, that's the one we use for when we're doing Zcash.
He said Claymore.
Claymore's good too. Zcash, it's 420.
Wow, it's gone up, what, $20 in the last 10 minutes?
420 and sell, bros. That's a high. No pun intended.
You're so funny.
I'm horrible at that. I'm not a comedian. 33 and hold. Better get your switch over. Yeah, so folks that are rocking AMDs, you're going to have a little better activity with the Ethereum than on Zcash, but...
EWBF for
yeah,
Zcash?
EWBF. Did I say EBWF? I totally could have dyslexic the stuff out of that.
Don't buy Zcash now.
No, don't. Oh, guys. You buy the reds, you sell the greens. You're going to feel obligated to buy that increase, but you wait till it's dipping. There's a market channel on our in our Discord. If you guys haven't went out to Bits Be Trippin', come right off this video, go to bitsbetrippin.com, hit that Discord channel. It's, again, one of the largest communities. If you're not mining and you just want to talk to people that are mining and try to ask some basic questions, that's what people are in there doing, and save it in there. You can do you can send me a message on there. I try to respond to them as much as possible. I know there's a ton of people that send me emails in the last like 3 weeks. I've been out of town for 2 of those weeks, so I haven't went through everything, but I will get to your stuff. I saw a lot of regulars from emails on there. I think Mary W. sent me a message. I did see your message. I know you're a follower and a subscriber for a while. I'll get to your question. But yeah, ask us the questions. Go out there, and that's part of the community. The community is really awesome out there. A lot of people take care of it, and try to be kind and courteous to each other. I mean, there's always an internet troll out there in all of us, and we want to just troll people about stupid shit. But yeah, we're trying to keep that community kind of vibrant and just answering questions. A lot of people Some people are getting into it or new, so you just got to take that kind of approach with folks. Try to help answer some questions. We're trying to modify the website and just make sure the shop is linked with the most current stuff. Well, after October 1st, we're going to have a few people that have a little more time to help out with that. They're coming off some contracts and stuff, and we're going to be taking advantage of that and trying to make sure there's some good content out there and really kind of starting to enhance the channel with that time and that folks have, and really start bringing some tailored content to you guys. There's some good stuff coming out there, some smaller video sizes. We've been talking about bringing a website to you guys. We brought that. We're bringing some enhancements to that and try to help grow this community. So I think coming up we got the 19 GPU build board, or the build itself. We got the Vega 56 and 64. We got a couple of the 64s. This is another Sapphire one, and then we got the an XFX version of that. We're going to take this BIOS and put it on to the 56 and see the differences, how it performs, what it does when it comes to mining. So some more Vega 64 stuff. We haven't forgot about this guy. There's a couple. That's a couple of these here. We're obviously looking in. I saw the 750 Ti, the 1070 rather. The 1070 Ti is the second week that comes out. We'll go out there, pick up one, make sure we have one of those too. So we will be looking at that. We try to bring the best hardware to you guys at scale, and consistent. So stay tuned, keep watching. I'm going to drop into Discord for just a brief second, answer some questions if you guys are in there for the after piece here, and then, check our video out for tomorrow. We'll have an actual episode posted for tomorrow, and we'll bring some cool stuff to you guys. We good? Do you have anything else?
We're good.
All right. And, let me know if you guys like having BBT. I like having Mrs BBT here because she can answer the questions, and I'm right here. And if you guys like that, let us know. You can give them a bye.